I wasn't expecting to present in this way, but I feel that I'm quite lucky that my video will hopefully translate well in this presentation format. So again, gaming has always been a big part of my life, and I always think possibly deeper than a lot of people would about these games. In my essay earlier in the year, I detailed about the kind of theories that I talked about within this video that I've produced. A big theorist for me in the essay was that of Ridderbos, who details about time travel and a particular quote about humans vying for escapism through fiction and mentioning time and travel really jumped out at me, and from this, my idea for my video shaped itself. The Fallout series has always been my favourite game series, and I've always gone to it in good times and bad times. One that we've been experiencing right now, for instance, and in a way is reflecting what is happening at the moment. It helps me escape into a virtual world, so one that I love and I really enjoy it actually. And this has always satisfied my need for enjoyment and escapism. I've always thought about this game as something bigger than anything else I've ever played, which has made me think deeply about it during this assignment. It's really the way the game records a moment in time that I experienced many, many years ago, and now it's one that I can still revisit to this day and change the timeline of how the game continues on. It does fascinate me, and I feel games have a unique sense of time, and in a way, they allow us to travel back in time and change events, not just in the game, but it's also in our physical minds as well. So I hope you enjoy the video I've produced and kind of see where I'm coming from with my understanding of how these types of games save reference points. Enjoy.
Following total atomic annihilation, the rebuilding of this great nation of ours may fall to you. That's why we at Vault-Tec have prepared these educational materials for you to better understand the 7 defining attributes that make you special.
Gaming is one of the biggest modern media technologies. Its process of simulation, especially within more modern games, creates a realistic world, one which is craved by many gamers, and fulfills many needs for escapism. Escapism is a process that cannot be replicated by other forms of media technology, such as films and television shows, as the players control themselves and what is happening within the game. Ridderbos states that for the Westerner, whose present moment marches inexorably along the timeline and who is given no opportunity to travel into the past, there is but one escape, and that is through fiction. Whilst exploring Fallout 4 within this task, it became quite evident that the game provided not only the simulation aspect, but possibly even the time travel aspect. Both are explored further in the rest of the video.
Got some great stuff, if you're interested.
I don't need anything.
All right.
In a novel, simultaneous actions are presented consecutively. In simulation, the simultaneous events are often described in overlapping. The action of the story keeps moving forward as our point of view shifts. Janet Murray describes how the simulated events can be so effective. They happen at the same time, even when the player is not looking. They make no difference to the player's story or journey, they simply exist within this game and simulated world, as if they are living their lives. Murray also describes the 3 aesthetic principles within her book, Hamlet on the Holodeck. They are immersion, agency and transformation. And all are present in Fallout 4's simulated world. Regarding agency, Murray believes that ideally, every object in a digital narrative should offer the interactor as clear a sense of agency and as direct a connection to the immersive world.
city right here.
All objects that would be interactable in a real-life situation are interactable within the game, such as this wind chime. Immersion and agency are created by these small details. One way Fallout 4 achieves immersion is through the detailed characters that, in a way, play alongside the player's character and populate the world. They talk and interact with the player character, as well as other non-playable characters. Murray says that games can feel very lonely without other characters to engage with or a drama that unfolds in real time, because we experience ourselves as present in these immersive worlds. We want to do more than merely travel through them. Fallout 4's world allows for interaction with non-playable characters, and this exemplifies the immersion felt. The player has a choice to respond and react or turn away from characters if they so wish. The transformative power of the computer is particularly seductive. It makes us eager for Masquerade. The game offers a particularly deep and rich character creation screen, where facial elements can be made to create any look possible. Transformative character elements are also included to shape the player's character into exactly what they want, with personality and skill options. The process of saving a game seems simple, but each time this process occurs, a reference point in time is created. If you think about the game time the same way you think about real time, a timeline is followed in a simple sense of the word. There is a past and a present. The present can be accessed as many times as possible, and so can the past. As this latest save game is loaded, it is the present, and the end of the timeline of this particular game. As soon as this is loaded, this is a completely unique series of events that has never been experienced before. On the computer we can re-enter the story and experience more than one run of the same simulation. We can play all the parts, exhaust all the possible outcomes. This links back to how we crave simulation and fiction. There is no danger when we can travel back into the past multiple times and choose where we re-enter the simulation. A fictional universe, danger without actual danger. Danger we can control. Avoid anything untoward that we already know lies in wait. Yet, when it comes to the time aspect, as soon as the save loads, the present timeline is affected. As there is nothing beyond this, the timeline travels onwards, unaffected. Bergson says that there is a pleasure in mastering the flow of time and of holding the future in the present. Out of context to games of course. But with Fallout 4 and being able to create a save point, see the future and reload the present past, Bergson makes a point that can be switched to modern media technologies. A new series of events occurs as soon as the load concludes. As the game is autonomous, anything can occur. Surely the game system writes a path for each character and event that will occur, and it knows will occur. But with multiple reloads, the character can change the path with a different process every time. Process is described by any interaction with digital systems. It is the movement of the participant and the detection of this by the system that causes the software processes that provide the condition for digitally generated forms to emerge. A single slightly different process and interaction with the world from the player may provoke a completely new event. Barker explains that our experiences of every present moment is constituted by drops or buds of experience. These can be considered the outcome of events within the game. As an older save is reloaded, further back into the timeline than the present, a portion of the game is lost, and this older time becomes the new present. Yet the drops and buds of experience, ones that no longer exist physically, having been lost to the future, still exist within our minds, and will influence future gameplay. This can be considered time travel using saved reference points. The future can be changed and manipulated with knowledge from future events. This can happen as many times as the player so wishes. There is no limit to how many times or to where the player reloads. Fallout 4 offers the chance for players to experience the effects and feelings of time travel as well as a simulated fictional world which runs parallel to reality.